Hey guys, welcome back to Tower of God New World. In today's video, I wanted to talk about your primary raid up wishlist spot, this one here, and who to put in it, because I have changed mine up because I am looking to get my second carry unit because I am currently halfway through chapter 15, and when we get into chapter 16, we're going to need a second carry. But I will talk about this from the perspective of what I think so far about your first carry, and then also moving into your second carry unit that you're going to put in that primary wish list spot. And the one thing I'll say is once you decide on that unit, leave it in there. Now, I have swapped mine prematurely. My hats is not maxed out. I need 4 more copies of him. However, I've decided to shift already and put my Hua, who is going to be my choice, and I'll explain that as we go through the video, why she is my choice. But I've put her in that primary spot now to start getting those copies. Otherwise, once I clear another half a chapter, I'm going to completely bone because I've only got one character built and I won't be able to beat 2 teams. So that's where we're at. So let's go through, first of all, your first carry. Now, your first carry, I think, wants to be one of the yellow or the purple units so that you can guarantee that you're never going to be weak against the enemy. Otherwise, if you have a red carry unit and you come up against blue, you're kind of boned because they're getting that massive crippling. Whereas if you have yellow or purple, you can fill out your team with either yellow or purple to suit them to make sure you're at least neutral, normally advantageous against that other element. So let's go through. I'm going to go through all the different elements and the characters that I think will be viable. Now, for the first carry, I honestly think Hats is the best. Currently for me, I'm in 15-24 and we're at about a bit over a 3x deficit, probably 3.5. I can't do the math. But yeah, we're pushing a decent deficit with our Hats in there as the carry. Now, he does have a lot of dupes, but that's the thing. With these carries, you will need a lot of dupes. I will say that Wang needs a few less dupes than Hats to do damage, but Hats does provide extra avoidance. Like, he can dodge attacks, heal up, and provide some avoidance for the rest of your team. So that's what I will say about him. But I personally prefer Hats. Like I said, let's go through the elements though. So for yellow, you have Hats. He does nice damage. It's not as big as some of the other damage dealers, but it's pretty consistent. Like when he does this, uses this ability, his basic attacks hit super hard. This one hits decently hard because it's guaranteed crits. This one's guaranteed crit. Not a crazy multiplier at max, but still decent. And then, like I said, he does have his heal, but he also does have his buffs as well. So I think he's a great option for your first one. Then we go on to the other yellow unit, which when I mercenary this guy, he slaps super hard. Also, he works at less dupes than Hats because he hangs back, so you just need a good tank to keep your team alive, and then he can do his thing. He has like a massive multiplier on this thing, and this just absolutely tears enemies apart with his ult. The one problem is it has a massive lag between when he starts his ult and when he finishes it, and it can be super clunky and annoying at times, but Wang is definitely a good option. And those are my 2 primary yellow options that I would recommend. Some would go for chicken as well. I just haven't had enough experience to recommend that. As we go into purple, I think you've got 2 purple options really. One being Endorsey. The problem with Endorsey carry is that I like using Endorsey cheese where you use her to group the entire enemy team. Now, I don't know how well a hyper carry Endorsey does if the enemy team gets completely grouped and you have 5 enemies attacking her from the very start. I don't know if she still just melts, but if you use her as not the cheese, so we're not getting 5 enemies attacking her, then she'll definitely be able to survive longer and be more disruptive and deal some damage. She's got the cheat death, which is handy. So yeah, Endorsey is definitely still an option. And the other option from purple, I think personally, is going to be Rachel, because she does a ton of damage, but also she has some good defenses and she can link that damage away so she can survive a bit. But I'm not too sure 100%. I just think she'd be a good one, but I don't know. She doesn't get in there and take as many hits, so you still need a really solid tank, kind of similar to Wang. But the thing with Rachel is I just find her amazing at 1 copy anyway for her swirling and stuff like that. So you know, that was one I was thinking of. I'm not saying you should do it. She's just one that I can see. Now, someone like Kuhn, I think he's going to be amazing maxed out, so he gets the extra energy, but not as a carry. He's like a 3rd, 4th, 5th unit that you would look to max out, because once he gets his extra energy, it means he ults quicker and just basically stuns the enemy team, which is going to be fantastic. But those are the main options I would look to from purple, would be Endorsey or Rachel. But once again, I haven't tested them, so I'm not 100% sure myself. Moving on from that into red, I think your one main option from red is going to be Hua. Now, the reason I am going for Hua, and the reason is that because she has pretty decent multipliers in general. She lets you focus a target down. She gives the whole team energy. On top of that, she provides shields. And so my thought is, if she's getting a barrier equal to 800% of her attack, and she's giving it to anyone near her when she uses it, if I make her my carry, that shield is going to be massive and help the rest of my team survive really well. So I'm like, okay, she has damage, she has buffs, she has shields, and I've seen some ridiculous damage of her on like server 1 accounts, like doing insane amounts against a blue boss as well. So this is a bit of a gamble pick for me, but I'm happy to go with it and take the gamble and let you guys know if it fails. But I just think she has so much to it. And then if we look at her exclusive equipment as well, she gets critical rate, so she increasing her damage. She creates a barrier equal 300% of her attack for 2 seconds every time a weak point enemy takes a critical hit, so she's going to get more shielding for herself. The duration of the level 2 is increased to 4 seconds, which may be good, maybe not. And then she becomes immune to Jolt with the level 2. But honestly, I feel like an easy investment to get to is to get this to level 2. And I feel like then she's got 2 really solid effects, being the extra crit rate for her damage and the extra shielding for her survivability. So I think she's going to work. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. But she is the one that I've decided to, because she's got pretty good damage, pretty good buffs, great for nuking down a single enemy. The one issue I'll see is if we start finding a bunch of Data Zahards or Data Mashinies who have the invincibility, and she makes us all target them, and then we're basically just wasting all our damage into an invincible target. That's the only issue I can see with her. But the other reason is, if we go over here and we go look at enemy teams that we fight, the hardest color I have trouble with is green. Blue is the easiest, I think. Enemy-wise, they don't really have anything that's really tricky, except for the big dude with the hammer who sometimes just doesn't die and nukes your whole team. Red is a bit annoying at some stages, but it's very manageable. But these green units, this guy, Hua especially, Yuri especially, is an absolute pain in the ass to deal with. This guy's annoying as well, and then this guy just nukes your whole team. I really hate the green enemies at the moment, so I think she's good for countering them. And from the main 3 colors, I feel like red is going to do me the best. So that is what I'm looking at. I could be wrong on that take for going Hua second, but that is what I'm going to do, and I will definitely let you guys know how it goes. Moving on from that, for green, I see there being as 2 options. Now, I've heard people that have put big investment into Yuri say it's not working because she doesn't get her shield up fast enough. So maybe Yuri isn't as good as I first thought she was going to be, but another one that I think could be a good option is going to be here, and that is going to be Sleepy Dude, as I call him. He gets himself a massive attack buff, jumps into the enemy ranks, deals damage, and then nukes the whole enemy team with his scythe on top of this 160% attack buff. Plus, he has this sleep, which means he can just take a ton of damage if he does it, and he gains energy from it. I think he is a great carry option, and I was actually going to go him next. I had him on my wish list for a bit and didn't pull him. But the problem is he is green, and like I said, blue is the easiest color I deal with at the moment, so I'd rather go for a red unit. If we look at blue carries, I couldn't say who I think. It would be between a big dude with the hammer, this guy here with the big nuke, and this guy here, but I don't know. I can't say. I haven't seen anyone test, so I'm not too sure. But that is pretty much the units I could see being options. Like I said, I don't know for sure who is the best. Like I said, for new players, I definitely recommend Hats or Wang as being the 2 top options I would recommend for your first carry. But as we move into the second carry, even though I say for new players, Hats or Wang, I don't want to build Wang next because I don't want to have my 2 carries in the same element. So that's why I'm doing Hats, and next I am going for that Hua, but I will let you guys know how it goes. Let me know who you guys think, who you're using. Like I said, this isn't to be like, this is who you must do. This is my thoughts around it. It's still very early days, but like I said, Hats has performed really well for me. But moving on from that, I'm taking a gamble and I'm going to go for Hua. At the moment, I'm saving up my gems to see if they do a banner or something. I've still been using my tickets as I get them in 10 pulls to keep keep my account progressing. But hopefully we'll see. Maybe we get like a boosted rate up for Hua in like a summer fire banner, red banner or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm hanging out holding these gems to hopefully see if we can get something that's going to help me build my Hua up. But that is pretty much my thoughts so far, guys. Let me know yours. Thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.